If you've recently overheard someone say that walking barefoot in the grass can realign your body's electrical field, or maybe you've seen someone napping on a rubber mat plugged into their wall outlet and claiming it's healing their mitochondria, you've just encountered the phenomenon of earthing, also called grounding. So, is there anything to this? Stay tuned. Welcome, everyone. I'm Gary Carlson, a health researcher working full-time in musculoskeletal medicine. So, what is grounding and why are people doing it? The basic idea is that in modern life, we are isolated from the Earth's electrical energy by not walking around barefoot like our distant ancestors, and that being in direct contact with the Earth allows electrons to flow into your body, which supposedly rebalances your electrical homeostasis. This electron infusion, according to the theory, reduces inflammation, neutralizes free radicals, regulates your nervous system, improves sleep, reduces pain, boosts immunity, enhances circulation, and many other supposed benefits. So the Earth is like a giant cosmic battery, and you're an iPhone that needs to be recharged. For those who want to try this out, grounding mats are sold as a convenient solution. These mats are plugged into a wall outlet or via a wire to a metal rod stuck into the ground, and claim to provide health benefits while you sit at your desk or sleep. So does it work? Well, if it all sounds a little magical, that's because, unfortunately, it is. And not in a good way. But let's take a look at the science and see if there is really anything going on here. And I'd like to take a second to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It's free, and doing so simply tells YouTube to share my content with more people. As a new channel, thank you. So starting with the basic physics behind the theory, the idea that modern humans are electrically isolated from the Earth is not true. Even with rubber soles on our shoes, we constantly share electrons with our surroundings. For example, every time you touch a metal object or another person, or experience a little zap of static electricity. Proponents of earthing claim that plugging yourself into the Earth via a mat allows electrons to flow into your body and act as antioxidants, neutralizing the dangerous free radicals that cause cellular damage. And of course, free radical damage is a real thing. But electrons don't selectively target oxidative stress in your mitochondria. That's just not how physiology works. The body already has robust antioxidant systems that are finely tuned and self-regulating. You're simply not going to improve them by plugging into a wall or lying on a rubber mat. So if the physical premise of grounding sounds shaky, what about the clinical evidence? Well, let's just say that unfortunately it's less than convincing. Over the past decade, the body of grounding research has evolved in the exact way that pseudoscientific fields tend to evolve. It leans heavily on small preclinical studies and never quite progresses to robust, well-controlled clinical trials. In other words, producing lots of low-quality papers with a vaguely interesting premise, which are then published in pop culture health magazines, and then failing to replicate or scale up the findings with any consistency or true scientific rigor. What we typically see in real medical science is analytical progress, larger studies, increasing rigor, and results that hold up under peer-reviewed scrutiny. Whereas in grounding research, we see the opposite. Study sizes are small, often in the ballpark of 12 to 20 people. Outcome measures are usually subjective. Think feeling better or reduced stress or general well-being. And controls are weak or even non-existent. Participants expect to feel better and so often report that they do. It's the classic placebo effect. If you wanted to design an experimental study that might show real results, you'd first need a very large number of participants, some of whom would be the control group not receiving the treatment. And neither the participants nor the researchers could know who is receiving the actual electrical grounding, because that would skew the results. It's called a double-blind study, and it's how reputable research is performed. But the effects claimed for earthing are often contradictory in the current setup. One study said grounding is anti-inflammatory and immune-enhancing, which are essentially opposite biological states. Think of what steroids do. They are anti-inflammatory because they knock down the immune system. Inflammation is an immune response. So it's a classic red flag that the claims are not accurate, but are more of a sales technique. Almost all of these studies are published in low-impact alternative health journals or journals with questionable peer review standards. This creates an illusion of legitimacy without ever crossing into the domain of actual reproducible science. And then there's the elephant, or the resistor, in the room. Most grounding mats are manufactured with a built-in resistor, often around 100 kiloohms, for safety. This resistor limits the current flow between the user and the earth, or the grounding outlet, which is good, because otherwise you might zap yourself if there's a fault in the wiring. But from the perspective of the mat's supposed function, free-flowing earth electrons healing your body, this resistor completely undermines the whole premise. It essentially blocks the free movement of electrons. So your mat would be stopping them from entering your body. If the electrons can't move freely, the entire concept of electron transfer into your body via grounding is rendered false. The medical plausibility of grounding is near zero. It proposes mechanisms that violate basic laws of biology and physics. There's no evidence for the concept of electrical homeostasis in humans, no proof that we require an earth-to-body electron balance, and certainly no demonstrated clinical benefit from restoring it via a mat or a copper wire. As much as grounding might sound soothing and holistic, unfortunately, from a scientific standpoint, it just seems to be without actual medical or scientific foundation. There are a lot of products and therapies out there that make a lot of claims about their supposed health benefits, but they're not supported by any real evidence or research. Drop a comment below if you'd like to see more videos on these types of claims, or if you have tried grounding. So when it comes to your health, being aware of something that sounds too good to be true will save you time and money. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and earthing does not seem to be grounded in facts. See you next time, and be well.